Hello to everyone that is going to watch this video. My name is Abraham, and my group mate is Yazid. We are from State Polytechnic of Malang, and we are from Technic Informatica, and the class is 3G. So in this video, we will be explaining our final project for computer multimedia uh, subject, and the final project is about making a game. So in the process of making this game, we divided our work into two. There is a part that was done by me, so I will explain about that part. And Yazid, who is my group mate, would also explain the part that he did. So to start the presentation, I would start with the part that I did. So the part that I did is the main screen part. And in the main screen part, I started by creating the new scene and then save it with the name main screen. And inside the main screen scene, I created three buttons. So I created three buttons. So the first button is the start game button. The another button is the about us button, and the third button is the exit button. So I would explain what happens when we click start game button, and also about us button, and finally exit button. So let's start with the start game buttons. So here is the start game button. So when we click, that's on click start game buttons, we will be taken to the scene called game scenes, and this game scenes was developed by my group, by my friend who has it. So he will explain more about what happens in the game scene. This is where the players can play game. So you can see there in the on click there is main camera, and inside the main camera there is a script, and the name of the script is move scene script. So the purpose of move scene script is to switch the scenes. For example, when the button is clicked, it will take you to another scene. So in that case, when the start button is clicked, it will take us to the new scene, which is called the game scene. So that is all about the start game button. Also, when we click the start game button, it will play some audio, and that is it will play some audio also. So I've added audio to the to the buttons. So when the button is clicked, it will produce some sounds. So that's and also I have made some modification. I mean, like some coloring in the buttons. For example, the color of the buttons, I've changed it to like to orange. So that's all about the start buttons. The next button that I will explain is the about us button. So when the about us button is clicked, it will take us to the next page, and the next page is the page that will show details about us, who created the who created this game. So we have a scene called about us, and inside that about us scenes, we have put our details like the game name, the description, and other details that I will explain shortly. And in the main camera, we have dragged our script that will help us to switch button, that is to switch scenes. Like when the button about us is clicked, it will take us to another scene, which is about us scene. So that is what I can explain in the about us scene. And also you can see there in the audio there is another we have added I have added audio source, and the script is also in the scenes that you will get later at the end of the video. So that is the game source that we have used. So the final button is the exit button. So when we click exit button, so when the exit button is clicked, it will exit the game, and it will exit the game. So the game would be exited, like the screen would be closed, like so you wouldn't be longer playing the game anymore. And we have also the script, and the script we drag it to the main camera, and that script is the uh, exit games script. So that is what I can explain in the game, in the exit button. So now I will be explaining how our game works, especially these three buttons. So let's play the game and we see how these three buttons works. So let's wait for our game to load. So let's start with the start game button. So when the start game button is clicked, it will take us to the so it will take us to the game scenes that would be explained by my friend in details later. So when we click the about us button, so click about us buttons. So when the about us button is clicked, it will show us about the game name, that is Maraton, Bulan, Agustus, and the description of the game. Like this game, we developed this game to so we developed this game in order to remind people about one of the celebrations, that is the Independence Day of Indonesia, and it was a running race on August, because it was a month where Indonesia declared its independence. So the idea comes from the gunny race culture of our nationalism. So, but we modify it into a running race to make it more reliable for players from any religion, even for overseers. So we also add an additional objective to this game. So the objective is to collect Indonesian flag along the competition roads to give more attractive feelings to the players. This is amazing game. So that's the description of our game. And the game creators are two of us, that is Abraham and the Yazid. And those are, we also put our names and the class. You can also click the back buttons and it will take us to the main screen. Now we are back to the main screen. So when we click the exit, it will exit the game, but now we are not exiting the game, but because we still need to explain more details. So all this part that I've explained is the part that I did for our game. So the next part is the game itself, like what how the games is played and what is to be done. So that part would be explained by my group mates, who is Yazid. So Yazid, it is your chance to explain what happened when we start the game.
Okay, thank you, Abraham, for the explanation. Now it is my turn, and as we can see here, previously we see that it uses a next page dot next. I just add an additional sound, so it is like a click sound button because previously Abraham adds a game sound to this scene, and because the game sound is very loud, so we uh, we set it on the main screen only. In the about us, the game sound will be muted because we need something like a confident place for the users who plays this game. If they want to read more things about this game, how it was created, uh, they can read it carefully and by piece. And if we start the game, game now is started, and you guys can hear that the sound is just very loud. Uh, I actually want to reduce the sound volume, but if I reduce the volume, for some devices might not match. So now I'm going to click the start game to show how the game works. Okay, the scene changed. Here I'm collecting some Indonesian flags. The control for this scene were only A button, D button, and space bar. For the space bar is used to jump, while the A and D are used to move to the left and right. In here, I set a condition where when it touches the finish object, then it will show the end scene. Not end scene, I mean end to the layer of the scene. So let me give you a better explanation about it. Okay, so this is the scene. As we can see that in here there are two uh, two two layers with two different conditions. The first is the ending layer. It was used to show that the game ends right after the player touches the finish uh, object. And the second is uh, a pause layer. It will appear only if the button pause is clicked. So let's try again. Okay, it was clicked. As you can see that if the pause button is clicked, then this layer will appear to the front of our monitor. And this is the pause uh, writing, and here is the main menu button. If we click it, we can back to the main menu, and here is the continue button. If we want to continue the game, uh, actually when this button is clicked, the entire sound is muted because that is the real pause function. We will pause the entire action in the game. Now let's try to click the continue to see how it works. Okay, it works fine. And if we hear it carefully, actually these three buttons are giving click sound right after we click those buttons. Yeah, because we give them uh, something like a sound effect to it. So now let's go back to the main menu. Okay, and it works. And unfortunately, here is the problem. Um, okay, in this home screen, everything works fine until finally we click the start game or about us button. And when we go back to this main screen, the background changes to black. This is a bit problem because yeah, it happens only in the Unity development window. If we export the project into a Unity game, like please wait. Yeah, if we export the game into executable file, the problem will disappear. So it happens only in this uh, development window. And about the script, what kind of script that we are using on. Let's go back to the game scene. Here are some scripts that we are using. Uh, okay. Sure. Mm, okay. This is the score.cs. Um, we implement it to our character. So the place is in here, the score script. It takes some parameters, and at the beginning of the script, it set the post uh, ending layer that we are talking before, and then the uh, amazing text. But this amazing text appears only if we get 5 Indonesian flags at once. And this is on trigger enter. Um, it, if it triggers an object with the score tag, uh, it gets a text object in the hierarchy and it modifies the text value. It if, if it is touches the object with finish tag, then it simply shows the ending layer and there are some words on it if you see it carefully before. So here are the level of the success in that game. If we got 2 or less flags, the text will be good. If we got 4 or less, text will be incredible. If we got 5 or above, it will be perfect. And the amazing text will appear because yeah, we get the entire object in the game. And the pause button will also disappear because the game is finished. And um, when we finish the game, okay, um, oh, okay, here it is. If the game object still exists, this is how the game works. Start from the beginning. Uh, it goes to forward. It put its faces to the front of the arena, and it if the condition is grounded, it means the character is touching the ground. The velocity of y is 0. Yeah, it it stays 0. Otherwise, it it increases the y velocity, and the character controller is used to set the running speed. And here it is the if the jump condition, if it is grounded and we press button with jump tag, it is going to jump. Yeah, by using these processes. So when the jump stops, of course the velocity y will increase. It means the character will jump, and this run run actually is the sound of running character. The sound will stop, and then the jump animation will be played. I mean the jump sound will be played. This start coroutine, it is used uh, to give a delay to the animation and anti-driving components. The delay is only a half seconds. Right after a half seconds, the game will play the the running sound of the character. And yeah, this is only the basic movement for A button and D button. Okay, this is the finish condition for the fixed move. Previously, we have a finish condition, but this is only to display the ending layer of the game. But this is used to end the game, so it is a bit different. And in here, this grounded is set as false, so the character will stop running, and is finished will be true. It means the game is over, and the horizontal input will be 0. It means the running speed is multiplied by 0 and it stays on the same place. And then the sound will be stopped playing and the celebration music will play. The celebration music duration is less than 5 seconds. So it is like tada sound. Yeah, like tada sound with trumpet. Yeah, a sound, artistic sound. And this is the start routine again. It is to give a delay before we go back to the main screen. So and the delay is 5.5 seconds. Actually, the trigger stay is not used in this project, but I put it only to have a research about what it is doing on the game. So actually, it is only will be executed if we are colliding with the object right after trigger and enter. So after we enter an object, we are in an object. And if we are in an object, this command will be executed just like that. And here are the conditions to pause the game. A bit simple. And yeah, this is the score object. Uh, the audio sound will be played right after we hit the flag object. This is the pause. There are several methods in here. This can be used separately. Uh, and yeah, and of course, if we click the main menu button, it will go back to the main screen. See, here is the camera follower. Uh, it uses vector 3 offset as an offset, and the offset is defined by transform position and target position, and it updates over time per frame. And here is the argument. And about the components we are using on this game, this terrain is made by myself, while the game interfaces are created by my partner, Abraham. The interface we saw in the beginning of this presentation. So this is the terrain. The terrain was in here. Terrain. I put some trees. Hmm, Okay, there are so many trees around here, and this is the running track. How do we put these trees with so many amounts? So we put only three trees in this section, in this component. And then we click on the must place trees, and then this window will appear. It asks us about how many trees that we are going to place and the condition of placing trees and something like that. And here is the result. And for the lighting, I'm using directional lighting with yellow color. As you can see in here, this is the color. The intensity is increased into 1.33 because I think 1 is not enough. And then in the window rendering lighting settings, for the skybox material, I'm using uh, imported skybox. Later I will explain. This is the imported skybox, and this is the default skybox of Unity. Slightly different, and that's why we get this better scenery. And for the animation, I'm using only uh, a running animation, and yeah, only running animation. The object of this game is available in here. I guess. Oh wait. Oh no no no. Wait. Super. Ah, here it is. This is the game. I mean the player perfect. I use it in this. That I use it in this game. For this case, we are using the lower version because I'm afraid in the development our PC specification is not good enough to handle uh, the entire graphical things inside the game. And this is the animator. This is the default animator, but we are not using it. We use only the run animation. And yeah, this is the animation, the separated animation. We are using the common running. As you can see that I set the walking speed to 1.75 because if the speed is only 1, the running speed is not fast enough to follow the running sound. Oops, oh wait, this is walking. Hmm, walk, up, pose, jump. Hmm. Ah, this is the running. Okay, as you can see, the speed is the same as the animation in the game because the speed is increased. And for the player here, okay, for the quick move, this is the run sound, this is the jump sound, this is the celebration sound. For the audios, I put it in these objects here. There are 5 different sounds. This is the get item, this is run, jump, button sound when we click it, and the celebration when the game is over. And okay. And, and yeah, I think that is all from me. And yeah, we will upload the video of this presentation soon as possible. Now I give the speech to Abraham.
So, are you done with the explanation?
Oh wait, there is one thing that I will show. I
Oh,
forgot it.
okay.
And here it is. The executable game. We name it as final, and this is just like we see in the game development window. This is the about us button, and when I click it, I'm pretty sure that we hear a button click sound right after click action. This is the same as the game development window. Okay, we can start the game now to show that the game works fine. And yeah, I'm playing it. The score increases every time I get a flag. This is a bit difficult. We need to jump and the position needs to be precise. This is the last flag and okay, we got score of 5. Okay, it is perfect because we got 5 flags and the amazing text appears. Now, if I click exit button, yeah, it simply exit the game. No additional notification. Yeah, those are from me.
So, that is all about our game. We have developed it based on the requirements. That is, we added the animation, the lightning, and the sound effects. They are all added, and our game works perfectly well. So this is the end of our presentation, and thanks to everyone that is gonna watch this video. See you again next time.